What's going on, golf addicts? DB here, and I got three sleepers for you today for the 2022 Fortinet Championship. All three currently projected under 6 or 7% on a couple of early ownership projection websites that I looked at this morning. But also, these guys are long shots in the top 20 market, long shots in the outright market, and they're all three rookies coming off the Corn Ferry Tour. Earning their full status PGA Tour card. These are rookies, and these are guys you're going to need to know because you don't know. Like one of these guys could be this year's Cam Young, could be Will Zalatoris from a couple years ago, could be Scotty Scheffler. Like they're probably not going to be world number one this year, but the Corn Ferry Tour is really the second best level of golf in the world. And when these guys come out here, a lot of these guys are ready to rock and roll. And if you have an edge and you have an early edge on understanding these guys' games, what they do well, what they don't do well, then you can capitalize when they're cheap, when they're low owned, when they're long odds before everybody starts catching on. So I'm going to educate you on these three guys. And I think they are good plays this week. And we're going to start with the cheapest option first, right off the bat. Now, I don't have any screenshots to share. Normally, I would open up my Fantasy National screen, show you some statistics, but it's really not worth doing because these guys don't have any sample size on the PGA Tour. So I'm just going to rattle off these guys, their stats, their information of what you need to know. And the first one is the next hottest thing to come out of South Korea. And I ain't talking about, what is it, K-pop or whatever it is? No, I'm talking about to go along with the electric factory that is Siwoo Kim, Tom Kim, Sung J M. These guys are awesome. Well, SH Kim, Sun Hyun Kim is on the way. He's 23 years old. The guy has won 4 times worldwide in the Corn Ferry Tour finals that we just got done playing. He finished 11th and 6th in those. He didn't have to play the third event because he'd already locked up his status. He's a tremendous total driver of the ball. Averages like 312 yards off the tee. He ranked 27th on the Corn Ferry Tour in driving accuracy for the season. So hits it long, hits it relatively straight. That's a great recipe for any event on the PGA Tour. He finished 12th in the Corn Ferry Tour Order of Merit. I just think this young kid is somebody you need to know. He's 6.9K on DraftKings. He's going to be the lowest owned of the three I'm talking about, probably in that 2 to 3% range. And these 23-year-old South Koreans come out ready to rock and roll. Hello, Tom Kim, who's like, I think he's what, 20? I don't think he can even drink yet. And this kid's won 4 times worldwide. Like, even though you win in a tour that you may think is, inferior to the Corn Ferry Tour, which it probably is in terms of overall strength, he's understood how to close the door. I'm not saying he's going to win his first, the Silverado start here at the Fortinet, but the upside is definitely there. And these guys South Korea seems to just print these young, hungry, ready to roll golfers. He's taken up residence in Dallas, which is where Siwoo Kim, Sung Kang, KJ Choi are based out of. Tom Kim's based out of there as well. So you got this group of guys based in Dallas, South Korean natives who are ready to take on the PGA Tour. Plus 550. He's one of my favorite absolute bomb top 20 bets this week. Whether or not it clicks this week, he's a name that I think you need to remember, as is the case with the rest of these guys too. So that's SH Kim. It's a good one. All right. It's a good one. Listen, while we're here, go ahead and hit the thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you've not already. And here's the comment I want. Do you play golf? Because I'm starting to get interested in this. Like, how many of our listeners actually play golf, or do you just enjoy betting on it, playing DFS on it? I'm curious to know. Let me know if you play golf, or if you used to and you quit, or if you don't, but you think you might want to. Drop that comment in the video. I would appreciate it, and it helps the channel. Subscribe as well. All right, let's keep it moving. Um, the guy who basically you could say just conquered the Corn Ferry Tour this past season and now full status rookie on the PGA Tour is Juan. And Carl is from China. He finished first in the order of merit. Here's, Corn Ferry Tour winner. He had 3 runner-ups. He did play 2 of the 3 Corn Ferry Tour finals events. I didn't have to play the third one, finished 14th and 5th. The reason those Corn Ferry Tour final events are important, and they apply to all 3 of the guys I'm going to talk about today, is because those events just ended. Like, I think the last one was ended 2 weeks ago. So you at least have some semblance of recent form, maintaining a level of form coming into this event. Whereas a lot of the guys who were already PGA Tour players full time, a lot of them didn't even play at East Lake, which was 3 weeks ago. So they may have finished up at the BMW. They may have even finished up at the FedEx St. Jude. So, you're looking at guys who had anywhere from 3 to 5 weeks, 6 weeks off. and now they're coming here. Could be a little bit of a rust factor, could be a little bit of a were they tired? And I mean, the rest is obviously beneficial for these guys, but how much golf did they practice? Did they play? How sharp is their game? Whereas these Korn Ferry Tour graduates are coming out very hungry, very eager, and excited to finally have full PGA Tour status. And they also just got done playing like less than 2 weeks ago. So that's something to note. The guy was a stud. Korn Ferry Tour winner, 3 runner-ups, like I mentioned. Here were his stats. You ready for this? This is Korn Ferry Tour total stats for Carl Juan. Okay, 7th in driving distance, bombs it. Good here. 8th in greens in regulation percentage. Going to have a high clip of greens in reg here at Silverado. A lot of greens in reg going to be hit. Then it's going to come down to getting it in the hole. And you're probably, he's a very solid putter on the Korn Ferry Tour, turned up very solid putting numbers. He was also 6th in birdie or better percentage and 8th in par 5 scoring. Also very important here at Silverado. You have to eat on these par 5s. These are all gettable par 5s. Everybody's going to be scoring on them. A par is going to be like losing a half a shot to the field every single time. So you can't do that. You've got to make your birdies and eagles here. Carl did that on the Korn Ferry Tour in droves. He doesn't have very many PGA Tour starts, but he does have 2 WGC appearances at the WGC HSBC, where he had 2 decent finishes. I think he finished 17th in one and like 36th in the other. I could be off by 1 or 2 there, but a top 20 in one, top 40 in the other. Those are usually 65 to 70 man field events, but they're strong events and usually tough golf courses. So he's got experience. I think he comes in here ready to go. He's only 7,800 on DraftKings. You can get him 100 to 1 outright to win and plus 360 as a top 20. And current projections on the sites that have early ownership projections up as of I'm recording this at Tuesday at 2:00 in the afternoon for the Fortinet. He's projected around 4 to 5%. So ton of leverage here with these guys. Ton of leverage. The thing that I think happens sometimes with these Korn Ferry Tour rookies early in the season is people like talking about them and educating people on them and feeling like I got all, here's all the intel on these guys. But when it comes down to like clicking the name, sometimes I think people there's some reservation there and actually clicking the name when you have more familiar names around them that you prefer. And I think that's going to be the case for this next guy. Before I get to him, I got to remind you guys, Front Nine Coffee is the coffee for golfers. If you're a golfer and you love coffee, this is it. This is a local company started right here in my own backyard of Augusta, Georgia. It's a small business getting started in the coffee world. And they're taking care of the Tour Junkies. They're taking care of our Tour Junkies listeners and attendees at the Tour Junkies live golf tournament next week in Pennsylvania. And you need to check them out. Okay. So go to front9coffee.com, use promo code TJ10, save 10% off your entire order there. I have my own blend of coffee available on the website, and apparently it is massively outselling Pat's blend that he's made. Mine's a delicious hazelnut blend. His is like this espresso Milano. It's pretty strong. Mine's just flavorful, delicious, got a nutty aroma. It's just incredible. So head over to front9coffee.com. Check that out. Check out the other stuff they've got going. Support a small business based in Augusta, Georgia that loves golfers and is supporting the Tour Junkies and our community. It would mean a lot to us if you did that. All right, the third and final sleeper pick is the one that current websites have him projected at 6%. Possibly up to 7%. I'd be shocked if he gets up to 10. He may catch a little steam here in the next 24 hours, but I'd be shocked if he, is the one that people actually end up clicking the button. I just don't know that people actually do that, and it's mainly because of the price. And I'm talking Taylor Montgomery at 8,500. Now, I talked about Taylor on the podcast, but let me elaborate a little bit on this guy because, like I said, he is a stud. 8,500, 50 to 1 outright, plus 260 to finish top 20. His last 4 events now, famously last year, he finished 26th, I believe, in both the final standings or the Korn Ferry Tour regular season standings, and the top 25 get their card. He finished 26th. And then at the end of the Korn Ferry Tour finals, where the next 25 get their card, he also finished 26th. Literally the bubble boy on both, or he would have been a rookie last year. Well, he didn't hang his head. He came out guns blazing this year and did his thing. His last 4 events on the Korn Ferry Tour, 9th, 4th, 3rd, and 2nd. Talk about recent form. Talk about a guy coming in really hot, really confident. Hot and confident? Let's do that. You know what I mean? Let's do it. He finished 5th in the overall order of merit this year, an incredible improvement from last year. 5th in the overall order. He's a Las Vegas guy. I like that because he's got a little bit of the West Coast little bit of the West Coast POA familiarity on a place like Silverado. He's probably going to be more comfortable. A lot of the Corn Ferry Tour graduates that you see right now are going to be Southeastern based Bermuda bent boys, right? The Sea Island Mafia types that aren't going to really love this POA putting surface. This is a guy, Taylor Montgomery, who I think could be quite familiar with it. This season, he had 7 top 10s, 2 runner ups, and in 15 starts, he did all that. He didn't win, but in 15 starts, 7 top 10s and 2 runner ups, pretty strong to finish 5th in the order of merit without a win. Here were his stats. Get ready for this. 15th in driving distance, averaging 318 yards. 21st in greens and reg percentage. You're thinking, oh, he probably can't putt. Not true. 3rd in putting average. 1st in birdie or better scoring. This dude can freaking score. He's got one PGA Tour event under his belt. It was the Farmers this past year that he qualified for. He finished T11 on POA on the West Coast in California. He's also played in 2 U.S. Opens. I believe he's made one cut, missed the other. This kid is a stud. He's a real deal. And I think at 8,500, people are going to be a little hesitant to actually click the button. Okay. People are going to talk up Taylor Montgomery. But when it comes to actually clicking the button, I'm not sure it's going to happen. That's just my opinion. That's what I think. Okay. So, like I said, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Drop a comment. Do you play golf? Check out the other content here on the Tour Junkies YouTube page. Let's have a big week for the Fortinet. May your screens be green and bend over your bookie. See ya.